Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I'm reaching out to the student body. Okay, students, I'm reaching out to you with another lab. This particular lab you have already completed. It's called Packet Tracer Configure Initial Switch Settings. And you know me, I snatch it up out of here and I throw it onto a Word document so I don't have to use this here. I like to see it clear and clean, so I'll put it on a Word doc and take it from there. Now, with that, I want to make sure you guys understand that if you have to use this particular section here, just go up into your options and preferences, and you can make changes in here to anything you want. You can put sound in here. You can do all type of stuff. You can actually put color in here to highlight things. You can put a password on it so no one can mess with it. Don't do that in the class because then I won't be able to get in there. But you can change the wording and everything, okay? As you can see, I'm on the Funk tab, and you can change things in here. So if you need to make it bigger, go right ahead, make the size bigger, make the changes. I got 11 here. I can make it bigger than that, but I'm not going to touch it because, of course, I like to go and use my own Word doc and make things, size things up in there. This is perfect for me. So with this particular lab, it is 2.5.5 configure initial switch settings. Now, I want you to understand, you're going into the thick of things. These are the things you have to remember. If I wanted you to remember anything in here other than the commands, let me say that again, other than the actual commands, I need you to remember these pieces here, because this is what's the important stuff. When you go into interviews, they ask you questions, and these are the questions they asking you. They actually verify the default switch configuration, configure a basic switch configuration, configure a banner, save configuration files, and then they give you scenarios. What is a scenario? In this activity, you will perform basic switch configuration tasks. Also, you need to know what switches you are working with and what are the versions of the operating systems on there, iOS's. So this is 12, but 12 can actually go to version 15. So these are things you need to know. So like I said, I want you to make sure that you remember this stuff here. Other than the actual commands, remember this information. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna slide this over here because the first thing it wants me to do is to go in here and check the running configuration, current switch configuration. Now you're gonna hear the term running configuration and you're gonna hear current switch configuration. So we'll talk about that as we travel through this course so you can understand what that actually means. So I'm gonna click on switch 1, and of course you can see everything is up and running. I gave it enough time talking to get it up, and then I'm just gonna do enable. Now you know enable, what enable does, it takes me to the next level. So we're in the executable level right now, line console mode. These different modes play an important part. So now I'm just gonna do this. And another thing, yes, I am using the key command line shortcuts. So just make sure you understand that this is enabled, because some people still probably don't get that. I'm gonna do another shortcut. I'm gonna go show. I just typed in SH and run. That's another command. So I hit that, and that gives me the running configuration. Now you know you should be typing in show running config until you understand this clearly. And basically all I'm doing now is just looking at all of the different devices that are on this configuration. Now, you know that you had to answer a couple of questions. And yes, you completed the file, you answered the questions, but don't forget this stuff. This is mission critical stuff, okay? We need you to know that. Do not forget. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to the next level, and this is just going to be create a basic switch configuration. Now I'm gonna show you a little trick later on with these commands for the next switch, but basically we finna go do this here. So I'm gonna take this here and I'm just gonna close this out by going all the way there, moving it up, and here I'm gonna go config, right? Shortcut it, T, there go another shortcut word, and that lets me in. Now I'm in configuration mode, okay? So I left executive mode to configuration mode. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna go host, and I'm gonna just say S, I'm gonna make it capital S1. Okay, hit enter. Now you see I just changed it from switch to S1 in configuration mode. So I can exit out, but I'm not gonna exit out. Now, ideally it wanted you to exit out. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Ideally it wanted you to exit out, but I'm not gonna exit out because I'm already in this mode anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So instead of exiting out, I'm just gonna say now, I'm gonna say line console, and I'm gonna spell this all the way out and hit enter. Now I jump to line console mode. So I'm in these different modes. These modes are important because like I said last time, whenever you have a problem, all I got to do is figure out, tell me what mode you in, and I can tell you what your problem is. Okay, so I'm gonna put the password in, and it's just simply let me in, let me in. So that's the password. Remember your passwords, people. And then I'm gonna say log in. Now I can exit up out of here. As you can see, it says right here, you can exit out, but I already know when I put log in, it's in there. But I'm gonna hit exit out once because we're finna go to a different section, and I'm just gonna go ahead and exit out once. Okay, so I'm gonna go exit, and this exit will lock it in. So if you wonder, hey professor, you better make sure you lock that in. I just did. Okay, so now it wants you to verify that the console access is secure. You hit exit, and it will show you it's secure because now I got to go log back in. So that's one way to verify. It's other ways to verify, but that's one way to verify. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and exit out, and now it has a password. We know the password is let me in, and I'm back in. Enable, I'm back. Simple. This is simple stuff, people. Simple and to the point. Okay, so we just verified that. Now it's asking you step 4. It wants you to secure privilege mode access. So privilege mode is actually one of the most important modes you want to secure because it stops them from even getting here. So we want to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and get that going. Okay, you guys are doing good. You're doing really good. So keep up the good work. So I'm gonna go to config. Okay, so now we done came out. So let's go in there. I'm gonna hit it twice, and this time I'm gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and say let me in. That gets me back to this mode here. And then I'm gonna say enable, but I need to put a password in, and that password is gonna be C1 $C, if I did everything right, 0. Let's see if I did it right. Voila, I'm back in. So we just accomplished this here, putting these in modes. You're gonna have multiple passwords and stuff that you gotta handle. Just make sure you understand and stay on top of your passwords. I'm not gonna go do all this, verify the privilege mode, exec mode, and all that. You pretty much already saw me do that. I could type this in and it show it. Let's go ahead and type it in just for the fun of it. Why not? So I'm gonna say show run, hit enter, and then we just go down the lines to see if we can see that go to host name, that go to password. So we see that we put this information in and it's locked in real good. And then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna see a password right here. Okay, let me in. So we accomplished the goals of doing this particular lab. We put in multiple passwords and stuff like that. Now it wants us to put in configure an encryption password to secure access to the privilege mode. So now it wants us to encrypt the privilege mode. So let's go ahead and do that. As you can see, we are here. Always look at your symbol so you can see where you is, what mode you are in at that particular time. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We see we there. So I'm gonna say config T, take me there, and I'm gonna say enable. So you see we got multiple passwords here. So you just gotta be careful because it's easy to type a wrong key and get the wrong password. So you wanna check before you hit enter. As you can see, it's a secret, and I have it spelled correctly, correct? So I'm checking that, and I'm gonna hit enter, and we configured that password. Now, let me just bring this up here. It says here, the enable secret password overrides the enable password. If both are configured on the switch, you must enter an enable secret password to enter the privilege exact mode. So we actually put that password in, and it knocked the other password out. It didn't completely take it out, but you know what it did. It just wrote over it. Like you just scratched something and began to write. Now they're showing you the shortcut show run, but you know we can do it even shorter than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit exit. I'm gonna say show run, hit enter, and let's point out all the different passwords that we got in here right now. So we starting right here. I'm gonna hit enter to go down so we can get up to this point here. Okay, so right here we put enable secret password, but we see right here on the first one, we see the host name. Again, I'm pointing that out. Then we come down, we see this particular password, which is overriding this password here. You see, this is a more encrypt passwords. Now let me say this. You would never put this on a active switch in a corporation. Neither one of these. Anyone can hack them. So we would never do it. This is just for classroom example. Okay, and then you still got the password down here. But we would never do that, people. That would you might as well open up your house door and say go in and steal everything. Here we go. We want to encrypt the enable and console password. Remember, this password you can see it, right? Plain text. So we want to encrypt that password. So let's go ahead and begin to do that. Okay, let me move that out the way, and we're gonna come back here. We still in privilege exec mode, so we're gonna go COMFT, and that's gonna take us right there. And with that, we want to go ahead and make sure we take our time putting in this password. So it says service. So I just did that. I want to make sure I check my spelling, encryption. Okay, we good. And then hit exit. Now I'm gonna say show run to see if I encrypt that password. Okay, so we already talked about the host name. We talked about overwriting this password. Now let's go and see if we encrypt it. And yes, we did. So now it's encrypted. But let me stress this once again. We would not use this in a working environment. This stuff could be hacked super duper easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in our banner now. So we got a banner here. We want to go ahead and drop that banner in there. Try not to make this long, but you know how these things get. I'm hoping you watch them because you're getting techniques, and you're finna get some real good techniques if you're actually watching the whole thing. So watch the whole thing, people. And if you like the work, man, like on my YouTube page. You know, I love how the numbers come up. But anyway, let's go do this. We're finna put a banner in. Banners are easy, but they are critically important. We got people out there who hack systems. I have no problem with any of them. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. I am not gonna be someone to tell somebody how to live their life. because some government somewhere said this is wrong to do that. And I haven't got time for that, CIA. So I'm just gonna put my name as the password, and then I'm gonna just hit enter, and then with that I'm gonna go exit. Okay, so now I'm gonna say show run so we can see the banner in there. My thing with hackers and all these guys, hey, I just don't have the bandwidth to be saying what somebody doing is wrong. That's their life. They do what they do. Just don't hack me. I'm a small in a big ocean, so leave me be. Okay, so here we got here, and I know some hackers are like, whoa. But hey, just leave me be. Okay, so now we want to check if we got the banner in there, and there it is. There go the banner right there. So you see how easy it was to put a banner in. You see how easy it was to change passwords. This stuff is really, really good for you to learn, but you have to remember it. Write it down, put it somewhere so you can remember it. Been configured. Now let me show you the shortcut. So as you can see, it was multiple things in here that we had to do. Now in the real world, let's be honest, we really don't do all this stuff here step by step. I mean, we actually do it, but it's a way around doing all this typing. And I'm gonna show you the shortest version right here. So I have down here at the bottom some commands right here. So if you notice, I said S2, right? So I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I'm just doing a short part of it. So I'm gonna take this configuration and copy it, and then I'm gonna come over here. As you can see, I lined up the words, and I'm gonna come over to S2, and I'm gonna hit enter because it's up and running, right? And then I'm just gonna simply right here, go copy and paste it on there. And voila, I just configured this. How do you know I configured? If I say show run, right now, it is showed that I put the name of the route in there, S2, and I made various other changes. I think, yeah, line console password let me in. So if I come down here, you can see the password let me in. So that's a short way. Let me bring that back over. When you're doing one switch, just take the same commands that you have for the other switch and put them down at the bottom right here and make you a detailed list. You can actually do the entire document like this. Passwords, all this type of stuff. You can do the entire document and then go ahead and configure it. I'm gonna do more of that so you can see it and see how easy it is to do, so you can skill up. This is just a quick way to do it. Now, be mindful to those experienced people out there who listen to this. We have other devices to make this stuff go extremely fast. Trust me. But these are industry devices, and some people have other skills to make it go faster. But this is something that I always practice when I'm doing. If I'm doing one switch, I'm doing another. Sometimes I don't even go touch the switches and routers. I just simply write out the command, check all my commands, and just drop it in, and poof, the whole switch is configured without me having to go in, line this, line that. So that's just something. Okay, so with this being said, this is Professor Systrom. Remember, stay focused, stay on top of your work. You're doing absolutely great, but make sure you learn it, because you're going to go into the next classes, like my security class. It's going to ask for a lot of this, or my Linux classes. It's going to ask for a lot of this. So just make sure you remember what you're doing. With Professor Systrom, I'll see you in the next video log. Like and subscribe, people.